It begins with a man carrying a screaming child out of a house. During the title reveal, a girl slowly descends helplessly into darkness. Then we are introduced to our protagonist, Madeline, as she rides a train with her daughter, Willow. Madeline tells her she thinks she is somewhat nervous. Willow responds by kissing her mom. She asks why her grandfather is not in the hospital if he is sick. Madeline answers that he will not be sick much longer. It is at that moment we see they are in Latvia. Once they ride in a car, we hear Madeline say that she remembers this road. It sounds like she has been there before. When they get dropped off, Madeline stands outside, seeming slightly lost about what to do. Noticing this, Willow asks her what is wrong. Madeline says it is nothing, she just wants them to go. Soon, she knocks on a door of a house, which makes a woman open it. She looks at Madeline for some seconds, until Madeline greets her as Elena. Of all the things to say upon first seeing someone, Elena asks the lady what she is doing there. Madeline answers that Frank wrote her. Angrily, Elena insists they should have called, but the older woman tells them to come inside anyway. Why is she behaving so rudely? Perhaps there could be a decent reason, but we don't know it. Inside the house, we see it as a modest wooden interior. As they sit at the table, Yelena questions if Madeline's husband does not mind her traveling this far by herself. Yet the lady reveals she is not married. For some reason, Elena says she shouldn't have brought her daughter. What Madeline wants to know is how long Frank has been sick. He's been that way for many years, according to Elena. She wants to see him, but Elena says it's best not to disturb the man at this time. Then we see Elena displaying more rudeness toward her visitor. She wants Madeline to call a taxi so she can stay at a hotel with Willow. Madeline tries calling, yet the phone doesn't work. Elena lets her know that the weather can cause trouble. Since the phone doesn't work, the woman wants Madeline to walk a few kilometers with Willow to get to a hotel. Not only is that quite a distance, but it's also a winter night. At that point, Elena has shown herself to be unreasonably rude. It finally makes Madeline give out an attitude of her own. Because Elena stated that Willow could withstand the cold, Madeline lets her know she doesn't need parenting advice from someone who abandoned her child. We learn that Elena is Madeline's mom. She says she didn't abandon Madeline, she just wanted her to have a better life. Once the lady starts taking her daughter away, Elena comes to her senses, telling them they can stay. When she takes them to their room, she asks her granddaughter what she has in her hand. Willow says it's something she made, and Elena informs her she used to make such items with Madeline. After that, Elena is alone downstairs. She says to herself that they promised never to have Madeline there. In Madeline's given room, Willow says a prayer while lying in bed. Madeline whispers to herself that they should not be there. Her thoughts seem to be in line with her mother's. Later at night, the lady goes downstairs when everyone is sleeping. She finds her mother sleeping on a chair, with keys resting on an open book she's holding. Madeline takes those keys. She uses them to unlock the door that's guarding the room Elena did not want her to enter. There, she sees a man lying in bed. He makes a sudden movement, which causes Madeline to receive a flashback of getting carried away as a child. That makes her leave the room. She tries to smoke, but gets startled by a sound in the distance. Walking in that direction, she enters an outhouse that has a well inside. Strange sounds are coming from within. Shortly after the door closes behind her, she gets pulled into the well. In the morning, Elena sees her lying in the snow. She helps her get up, and Madeline questions why she is out there. She doesn't get an answer. We are left wondering whether she truly got pulled into that well. If she did, how did she end up outside? When Madeline finishes taking a shower, she comes downstairs to see a priest there with her mom, who asks her if she remembers Father Joseph. The priest is curious to know if Madeline still wears the cross he gave her. We see that she does. He also mentions that she was sleepwalking. Furthermore, the man is sorry about her father. He tells Madeline it's important for him to find peace before he leaves this world. While he talks, we hear a certain voice. Perhaps Madeline hears it too. Following that, they all occupy Frank's room. Madeline introduces Willow to him, though he is asleep. The young girl places the wooden item she made into his hand. Madeline says she made it for him. As Joseph teaches Willow a certain prayer, we hear the voice again. Suddenly, Madeline gets lifted by some inexplicable force. She slides along the floor with her daughter. To make matters worse, Madeline's feet start bleeding. Of course, Elena and Joseph rush to offer their aid. The next scene has Father Joseph coming to Madeline as she lies in bed. Finding herself in a restrained position, she wants to know why. Joseph says she lost control. She did not imagine what happened. According to him, she has been blessed. However, the lady cries, saying she just came there to see her father. Joseph does not think that is correct. Since she wants to be released, he undoes her restraints. Instantly, Madeline rushes downstairs, where she demands to know where Willow is. Yet her daughter is right there under the table. Sadly, she has a bruise on her face. Joseph informs the confused lady that she almost took Willow's life. She is a danger to her daughter. Supposedly, something happened in that bizarre moment that we did not get to witness. If she wants to protect Willow, Joseph starts to say she will have to go to the convent he calls Mercy. Later, Madeline says farewell to her daughter before riding away with Joseph. She has to keep looking at her from the backseat until she can see her no more. We can see that separating from Willow is hard for her. As the duo rides, the situation becomes serious because the music gets heavy. They arrive at a dock to get on a boat. There, Madeline expresses her fear of water, but she gets on anyway and they ride off. Then, we see the convent. Upon arriving, Madeline first talks to Mother Superior, who informs the lady she can identify certain physical and spiritual signs. If Madeline submits to their order, her gift will come to fruition. To Madeline, though, it is no gift. She would rather not have it. After that, another nun, Aliona, starts explaining the basic rules to their newcomer. Inside, a third nun tells Madeline not to get on Mother's bad side. This makes Aliona stop, so she can firmly say that Mother doesn't have a bad side. When Madeline is taken to her given room, she wants to call her daughter. However, she doesn't get much of a response to her request. The other nun tells Madeline that everyone is talking about her, in addition to her being cursed. Yet she doesn't know how to respond to that. In the evening, as she gets dressed in her convent clothes, she hears the whisper again. She does not show that she hears it, but supposedly she has to. On the next day, Madeline attends a sermon given by Father Joseph. Everyone there stares at the newcomer. Afterward, she sits alone in a room with Mother, who tells her it's normal that others feel threatened by her. She also says that Madeline has physical evidence in a world of abstracts. Then she offers the lady a chance to call Willow. Of course, she takes it. Bad luck though, because the phone she is given doesn't seem to work. Mother informs her the phones are old, they could try again later. Suddenly, she asks Madeline what happened at her parents' house. When she says she doesn't remember, Mother does not buy that answer, she thinks their guest does. So she wants her to sit, relax, and clear her mind. In doing so, Madeline gets a flashback of walking to the outhouse where the noise came from. She tells Mother a cat was crying in the well. After we witness her fall inside for a second time, we see a young girl. A man comes to her while she is restrained in bed. Then a scared Madeline tries to escape the outhouse, but Mother's voice urges her to go back into the well. Shortly after, she breaks away from the memory in fear. Mother wants her to sit again. Madeline asks what just happened to her. She gets told she is experiencing wounds connected to the suffering in her life. Since that answer does not make sense to her, Mother clarifies that old wounds can cause new ones. Mother adds there is something dangerous inside Madeline that needs to be dragged out. At another time, she goes somewhere secluded with the nun from earlier, August. As they both lie in the hay, Madeline says she is not okay. She tells August she came there for answers. Now she has discovered the problem is with her. She reveals to August that she nearly took her own daughter's life. The lady cries, explaining what she did to her. August assures the distressed newcomer that she could talk to her. She doesn't want Madeline to be stuck there like they are. After that, August mentions the bell tower, making Madeline ask what is up there. Strong winds, says August. Winds so strong they feel like they could take you away. According to her, the bell tower is the place one goes to when there is nowhere left to go. Following that, Madeline goes to sit in the sermon room. Soon, Aliona appears there to tell her she knows what Madeline is, adding that she does not belong there. She suddenly grabs Madeline to let her know she is a child born out of sin. Aliona says her mother was a harlot of mercy. Fortunately, a priest enters, whose presence puts an end to the uncomfortable moment. Before leaving, Aliona mentions a certain book at the library, so Madeline is prompted to go there, searching for the book. Upon finding it, she observes there are many notes written within. They seem to be secretive. Madeline flips through the pages frantically until she puts the book away. Her reaction is fear, because her parents' names are in the notes. Afterward, Madeline goes into the room with the old phone. After dialing, she is allowed to get through to speak to Willow. However, Willow says she is not allowed to talk to her because she is dangerous. Soon, Madeline hears Elena talking. She says to leave Willow alone before ending the call. Once that takes place, Madeline notices someone outside the window. She stands up to walk away, looking at Madeline. Her strange behavior causes Madeline to go outside. As she approaches big wooden doors, she gets a flashback again of being in the outhouse, frightfully asking someone if they can hear her. On the next day, Mother comes to Madeline to tell her she missed the morning prayers. The lady's excuse is that she slept in. Mother responds she can't help the newcomer if she does not join them. So she takes her to a priest, who asks her specific questions while examining her. One of the questions is, how old was she when something happened? We do not know what he means by asking that. Yet Madeline seems to understand, saying she was 32. Another question he asks is whether she has been to the bell tower. After saying she has not, the priest would like to know her daughter's name. She tells him, but she wants to know the importance of that. The priest, being difficult, asks if she is lying to them. Just like Mother, he says if she lies, they cannot help her. Later, we see Madeline sitting amongst the nuns as they pray from their books. The priest whispers something to Mother, and their gazes briefly focus on August. After the prayers, Madeline asks Mother if she could talk with Father Joseph. However, he's already left for the day. Mother asks if she would rather speak to her, yet Madeline politely declines. Then August walks with her outside, wanting to show something to Madeline. Taking her to a lower level, she thinks she knows who could help her. Some nuns are there, one of whom punctures another's palm so that a small drop of blood appears. The one who caused it inspects the drop to tell her sister her blood is pure. She also says to the other that she knows what she wants, and takes it. After that reading, they all laugh. Due to that, we are left to wonder if they are serious. August says the reader is Beth. To Beth, though, Madeline does not look like she has faith in her, so she tries to convince her that she sees what someone's blood says about their soul. August adds that hers is a rare gift, much like Madeline's. Beth makes an inquisitive remark, asking Madeline if any secrets are hiding in her soul. To that, our heroine lies by saying she is okay. but August urges her new friend to sit down. Listening to her, Madeline decides to do it. The instant Beth punctures her palm, Madeline gets a flashback of being very young while restrained in bed. After inspecting it, Beth informs her subject that her blood is thick, in addition to being clouded. There are secrets and sins Madeline keeps, even from herself. Furthermore, she is not at the convent for her daughter, she is there for herself. Beth highlights that Madeline is selfish. All of this is making the newcomer severely uncomfortable, so she yells for the reading to stop. Panicking, she breaks free, causing some of them to laugh. August seems to be the only one who is worried about her, asking Beth what she did. Madeline looks at her hands to witness they are bleeding. A flashback shows us Madeline as a child, being held over a well by a man who could be her father. As she descends in the flashback, the Madeline in the current time also falls. We now come to understand what significance the well holds for her. The next scene has her waking up covered in blood, while many nuns stand to incessantly chant over her. That moment lasts briefly, making us wonder if it was a dream. While the screen is black, someone says they can't let her leave. He also says that Joseph will take the child. Then Madeline wakes up again, lying on the floor in another room. The person being spoken to was Mother Superior. Madeline wants to know what happened to her. The answer Mother gives her is that a foolish game was played on her, that the girls were not supposed to play. Due to everything that happened, Madeline wants to go home for a few days. However, Mother advises against it, saying it's not safe because of the storm. Since that is the case, Madeline at least wants to call Willow. When she starts calling, her horrible luck strikes again, and there's no dial tone. That leaves her with no other choice except to go to her room. As she's walking away, Mother tells her not to worry, because children are stronger than she thinks. Those words make Madeline turn around, for they are the same ones Elena said to her. Walking out, she hears her name whispered to her. At that moment, she decides to abandon the convent. She runs outside, where she continues to hear the whisper. Madeline finally comes to a boat and attempts to use it for her escape. She tries to break the chains that hold it, yet they prove to be too strong. That is when August appears to urge her to stop. She screams that she knows about Madeline's parents. She knows about everything. She can also help Madeline save Willow, but the lady keeps trying to break the chain. At that point, August shows genuine care for her friend by walking into the cold water to take her out, while Madeline is in her frenetic state of mind. Holding her, August pleads to save her. Elsewhere outside, the duo is covered in blankets. Madeline wants to know why they are taking her daughter. August lets her know that she heard Mother talking to Joseph about Madeline's family, having planned to send her away. They want to abandon her at the convent because they believe her to be dangerous. If that is true, Madeline wants to know why August stopped her. The nun tells her that she saved her because she would have frozen to her demise. She is stuck there now, like August is. Everyone is scared of her, including Willow. Madeline asks what makes her dangerous. Of course, she does not get much of an answer. Afterward, Madeline gets up to go inside. A voice tells her she is being lied to, and that Willow needs her. She must go to the bell tower. It also tells her the key is in the well. Going into another room, Madeline sees a well there. The voice tells her she will find what she needs if she looks deep enough. Going in is the only way out, so she does that, crying before jumping into it. We see her slowly descend, just like in the opening of our story. Shortly after, Madeline emerges from it, covered in grime. As she lies on the floor, we see she holds a key. She emotionally says that she's coming for Willow. The next scene has her coming to those big wooden doors she came to earlier. Using her acquired key to open them, she steps inside the bell tower. Willow's voice is heard, yelling for her. That makes Madeline climb the stairs, to soon enter a room where no one resides. She opens a container, and inside there is a book of notes, along with pictures of her family. Once she holds a particular picture, a woman stands near her. She tells Madeline she never wanted this. Madeline recognizes the woman as a younger version of her mom. We see a flashback of her romantically walking with a priest. While we watch, Elena's voiceover says it was just love. They struggled because of it. Ultimately, it caused them to run away from the convent. Because of that, they let unholiness into their lives. We see Frank's eyes turning evil as they are intimate. It doesn't take long for the man to be restrained in bed, while a younger Joseph tries to drive his evil out. Elena tells Madeline they all shared that burden. We see her father telling the young Madeline they will always protect her. It is saddening to see both of her parents being possessed, and Joseph trying to help them. Helena continues to say they did everything they could to keep this from Madeline. They thought they could control it, but they were wrong. To make matters worse, Elena informs her daughter there was something more than them that the evil wanted. Madeline guesses correctly that it was her. We see her younger self struggling in bed, while an exorcism is performed on the helpless child. In a demonic voice, in Latvian, the child Madeline curses her parents. Joseph gives the awful news that he can't save her. Back in the present, August enters the bell tower. She is disappointed that Madeline is there, possessing blackened eyes. August tells Madeline her parents abandoned her, and so did God. They did not want to protect her. She was born of sin, yet August claims to have made her blessed. How did she do that? With her blackened eyes, we know she cannot be trustworthy. All of this makes Madeline try to escape by climbing up. Then the same flashback takes place, of her father holding her over the well. August's voice is there, to say there are no answers at the bottom. The only thing down there is Madeline. Coming to the confused lady at the top of the bell tower, August assures her that she can offer her protection. The only way to save Willow is to come with her. It seems like the way August wants Madeline to come with her is by jumping off the tower. When our heroine looks down, she hears Willow call out to her. That causes us to exit the scene from Madeline's eye. Of all places, she now lies restrained at her mom's house. Yelena cries out to her that Willow needs and loves her. Yet Madeline repeats that her mom should stop lying. Joseph is there, performing an exorcism on Madeline. We see the struggle with August at the convent is not over, because Madeline's consciousness returns there, represented by having August grip her neck. Yelena tells her possessed daughter she couldn't protect her, to which Madeline responds by using demonic powers to push her against the wall. Inside her mind, August tells Madeline that her soul belongs to her. We realize she is the possessive demon, spouting lies. Then Madeline levitates out of bed in the real world. While she does, this is represented as August holding her up with one arm, in the world inside Madeline's mind. Using all of her hidden emotional strength, Yelena tells her daughter she doesn't regret having her. She adds that Madeline should have never suffered for the sins Yelena created. So she takes Madeline's hands, and it looks like she allows the evil to get transferred to her. It hits the woman with a few strong waves, until she falls to the floor. That causes Madeline to fly away from August's grip, as she safely lands back into bed. It signifies that evil has left her. The one who needed to take it from Madeline is her mother. After all that chaos, we get a final flashback of Father Joseph telling Yelena they can't keep doing this. Madeline will never be safe there, which means she must grow up someplace far away. As he says this, we witness a young Madeline lying nearby with a bruised face, so the young girl gets carried away, while her mom voices that she will always protect her. It was hard for her to let her daughter go, but she had no choice. In the present time, we see Joseph saying a prayer at a church, which is followed by the cremation of Yelena, who supposedly lost her life by saving Madeline. It is a touching moment for them all. Afterward, Madeline is at home with Joseph and her dad. Joseph lets her know that she is truly blessed, because now she knows her parents always loved her. She looks at her father, who sits in a chair, looking out of the window. Willow then comes with insight, to have her mom tell her they should head home. The final scene has the three of them boarding a train. Madeline's dad is among them. She has to aid him in his walking, but he is functional now. It appears to be a moment that comes after a bittersweet victory, until Madeline notices her fingernails are darkened. What could that mean? Her father also places his arm on the window to reveal the sign from the convent. His eyes briefly light up red when he looks at Madeline. Unfortunately, it appears like the situation was not completely resolved.